In this ClickFunnels tutorial, I will show you how to create an email sequence to send automated email follow-ups to your contacts, which can be a welcome sequence, lead magnet delivery, abandoned cart follow-ups, webinar reminder sequence, and so on. If you don't have a ClickFunnels account yet, use the link in the description to start your extended 30-day ClickFunnels trial instead of a usual 14-day trial and receive our ClickFunnels course as a bonus. Now let's get started. To create an email sequence in ClickFunnels and send our email follow-ups, we will need to use a feature called Workflows. To access this feature from your dashboard, go to the Automations and then Workflows. The workflows in ClickFunnels allow you to automate different actions, including sending email follow-ups to your contacts. To create a new workflow, click Add Workflow, give it a name and select the type that you want for this workflow. Then click Create Workflow. We start creating our email sequence in ClickFunnels by adding a trigger to the workflow. So which action happens that will initiate this workflow? To add a trigger, click this area and then click Add a Trigger. There are a lot of different events that you can use as a trigger in the workflow in ClickFunnels. The most common ones, however, is an opt-in on a specific funnel page or a purchase of a specific product. Let's select an opt-in. Then we would need to select the funnel and the page where this opt-in happens. Select if you want to have anonymous contacts and also activate this trigger. After that, click Save Changes. Once we added a trigger, we can start adding different actions to the workflow. To do that, click the plus icon and you will see different actions that you can add to your workflow. While we're creating an email sequence, in ClickFunnels you're not limited to emails. You can also use the features of Message Hub and send messages to your contact in different messengers and also SMS. Other actions that you can add to your workflow include sending an email or an asset, adding a delay or conditional split path. We can trigger another workflow and end this workflow at conditional goal, and we also can perform different actions with the contacts, like adding a tag, adding a note, create an affiliate from the contact, create or move an opportunity, enroll the contact into the course or unenroll from the course, and grant or revoke access to the community. And there are also actions that are related to third-party integrations or webhooks. Let's start by adding a tag to our contacts, and then we will add a few emails to our workflow. Click Tag Contact. In the Action field, you need to select Add Tag, and in the Tags field, you either select one of your existing tags or create a new one, and press Enter to save it. Then click Create Step. Now this step is added to our workflow, and now we can add an email. Click the plus icon, then select Send Email. You can select one of your existing templates, use the templates from the previous emails, or use the templates that ClickFunnels offers. You can browse through the templates and preview them. And once you find the one that you like, click Choose. Give this email a name, it will be visible only for you. Then enter the subject line, that's something that will be visible to your contacts. Pre-headline, select the address from which you want to send this email, and then select the reply to address. After that, click Create. Now we have the email step added to the workflow, but we still need to edit our email. To do that, click the icon with 3 dots, then select Edit Email. It will open the email editor for us. The email editor in ClickFunnels works similar to the page editor. We have the area where we create our email and the area where we can change the settings and select different elements. We have different building blocks that are called rows with different layouts, and you can just select one and drag it to the page. And after that, you can add different content blocks to the area here. If you go to the Content tab, you will see different elements that you can add to the email. Let's say you would want to add an image, you just hover over this element and drag it into the editor area. If you want to add the paragraph, you select the paragraph here and drag it to the area of the editor. If you don't need some elements that you got from the template, you can just click on it and then delete. Let's say I also want to delete this button. I click on it, and then I can either use the icon here or on the right in the settings of this element. To adjust the copy in the template, just click on the text element. Then you can either select the text from the template and delete it and start typing your own paragraph. The bar here gives you different opportunities for formatting the text, and you can also use the settings on the right here to adjust the look of the text element. And same applies to other elements of the template. To edit the element, you click on it, and then you will be able to adjust the settings on the right. If you have images or buttons on the page, make sure that you update the links that are assigned to them. Do that, click on the element, and then in the URL field, paste the link where you want to direct your customers. Another important thing to mention is an unsubscribe link. This template has a footer with the unsubscribe text, but in fact it's not the link, it's just the text. If you're curious how to add the unsubscribe link to your emails, which is required, watch the video by clicking on the card up here. Now once you're done editing the content of the email, you can preview it in desktop view and in the mobile view. I also recommend you to test the email. You can do it by clicking Send Test, then entering your email address here and sending this email to yourself so you can check if all the links are working properly and if the content of the email is displayed properly. Once the email is ready, click Publish. And we can go back to our automation. The next step that you may want to add to your workflow is a delay, because we want to have some time between the emails that we are sending in our email sequence. To do that, click the plus icon, then search for delay. Select the delay type. For example, if you just want to wait for 2 days, select relative, then select days, and enter the amount in the duration. If you want to wait until the specific day of the week or day of the month, use these options. And then click Create. Then we can add the second email. We will repeat the same steps that we did to create the first email. Select Send Email. We will use the same template. Same as before, set the name for this email, enter a catchy subject line that will encourage your contacts to open the email, enter the pre-headline, although it's optional, and then select from which address you want to send the email and the reply to address. Click Create. Same as before, to edit the email, we will need to click on the icon with 3 dots, and then click Edit Email. Then you will need to change the content of the email, enter your copy, and click Publish. By the way, you can always go to the copy of the email and update it later, and you can also always update the settings of the email. Then we add another delay. This time I will select 1 day. And before I show you how to create a split path in your workflow, make sure to grab our funnel launch checklist to ensure the flawless launch of your next funnel. Alright, in case you want to split the workflow, we click the plus icon and then select Conditional Split Path. First, we need to set a condition. Click Set up your condition. Let's say we want to split the workflow path based on the purchase action. In the action dropdown, select Purchase Product, and then in this dropdown, select the name of the product. You can also add other conditions, but I will only keep this one. Click Submit. Now we can add different actions to the workflow based on the fact if the contact purchased the product or if they didn't purchase the product. Let's say if they purchase the product, we want to add additional tag to them. In the Yes path, click the plus icon, then select Tag Contact, and I will create a tag specifically for the purchase of this product. Click Create Step. And for the contacts who haven't purchased the product yet, we can send a different email. In the No path, we click the plus icon, and then select the Send Email action. After the split step, you can again create an action in the workflow that will be applicable to all the contacts. If you have more email follow-ups, you just continue adding them to your workflow like we did with the previous emails. And as you saw, you can also add a lot of different actions to your workflow in ClickFunnels that would make sense to your flow. Once your workflow is done and you added all the email follow-ups, you need to activate the workflow. To do that, just toggle this on and click Enable. Now you see that the status is changed and our workflow is live, which means whenever somebody performs an action that we set up in the workflow trigger, this automation, this workflow will trigger and your email follow-ups will be sent to this contact. And last but not least, I also recommend you to test the email sequence by triggering the workflow as a visitor of your page as your customer would do, and to make sure that everything is working properly. That's how easy you can create email follow-ups in ClickFunnels. If this tutorial was helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to not miss our future tutorials.